Lancer, Shaka Kona, though I am also called Shaka Zulu. If you so dearly need my help, I will do whatever it takes to take victory. Now, show me whose head I must bring you.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Anime Void. I'm Brian, your host, and today I'm bringing another fan servant. This time, the Lancer, Shaka Zulu. And I will not be trying to pronounce his birth name, because I'm going to butcher it if I try. We got it in the opening voice line, and I'm happy with that. Art is once again provided by the absolutely fantabulous Kama. Look at this! He came out so amazing and quite handsome, I might add. Kama just keeps on doing amazing work with these servants. Knocks it out of the park every time. I am so happy I'm working with her to make these a reality. And if you too enjoy this art and the characterizations I put behind them, I'm going to be producing art cards for these, with specialized borders that are going to be reminiscent of the fake Grand Order borders, but just my own twist on it. Once all these servants are created, that's when I'm going to start producing the cards. I'm going to have somewhere to sell them. Still working out the finer details on that part, but if you do decide to purchase them, it'll not only support me, but also Kama. We're going to be splitting the profits on this. So, it's just a great way to support things that you enjoy. But on to talking about Shaka Zulu. King Shaka Zulu was the founder of the Zulu Kingdom, which he ruled from 1816 all the way into 1828 when he was assassinated. He was a leader of tactics and cunning, preferring to have a more diplomatic approach, or in some cases assassinations, but fundamentally his goal was to have more defensive strategies and propaganda and political discussion rather than full-on assault. He wanted to use his words more than anything else to win battles before they even started. And that's an aspect that I want to cover in his characterization. As a character, as you saw in like the little glimpse of what I have an idea for him in the opening voice line, is he's a person who speaks quite plainly but very directly. He is calm, he's cool, he's collected, but that is all outside of battle, because when he did go into battle, he was absolutely brutal and kinda bonkers. And that's the aspect that I'm going to highlight in the abilities. So let's get into that. Well, I say that, but the first skill is actually a mesh of the two, his brilliant tactical mind, and then the brutality. Just a perfect mesh, and that is encirclement. This skill decreases the defense of the enemy team, and also removes the enemy debuffs. And it increases ally critical damage, but it does damage allies just a tiny bit. Shaka truly innovated the encirclement tactics for warfare. Though, on the same coin, they could have very heavy losses in doing such a tactic, because you're focusing all the enemy onto the front lines. Front lines aren't going to last a great amount of time while the rear guard is encircling and getting ready to strike, but once they do, the enemy is just kind of gone. So it was a big risk-reward thing, but very well worth it. The reward outweighed the risk. Shaka's second skill is King's Vengeance. He will randomly give an ally a special status, and if the ally dies with that status, Shaka will get an incredibly high attack buff, and then target focus the enemy that killed the ally. I am going to butcher some names here, but I'm going to try my best. Shaka Zulu spent 8 years holding a massive grudge against a man named Zuide for the murder of his mentor, Dingasweo. At one point, Shaka took Zuide's mother, locked her into her own home with a bunch of wild animals, and then come sunrise, burnt the house to the ground. This is what I mean when I say this man was both brutal and kinda bonkers, because that is a level I am not prepared to understand. Because White's mother was probably a very innocent woman in this entire situation. But I got nothing. But yeah, so Shaka knows how to hold a grudge and have that grudge end in spectacular fashion. I don't even think the grudge actually ended there. I think he kept on holding that grudge even after he did that to that man's mother. And that's messed up. Speaking of messed up, his final skill is called Uncontrolled Grief. This skill inflicts curse onto all of his allies, and also skill lock, and turns all the cards in the deck, all 15 cards, into his own, and then gives him a buster up. And the idea for the skill comes from the end of Shaka's life. After his mother died, his own mother, he went into a massive spiral of depression and grief, to the point where he went absolutely batshit. During the year of mourning for his mother, no crops were allowed to be planted, no milk was allowed to be used, which was, at the time, the main basis for the Zulu diet. People were punished for not grieving enough, and any woman that got pregnant during this year would be killed along with her child and husband. He went far off the rails. So yeah, I feel the game mechanics that I use to represent this period of his life work very well. And then we reach his noble phantasm, which is simply Shaka Zulu. It is a Buster Noble Phantasm where he increases his attack one time for each debuff an ally has. And then he attacks a single target. The overcharge ability is that he gives guts to his allies, and the amount of HP recovered when they revive increases for each overcharge. So yeah, basically Shaka Zulu is more or less his own noble phantasm, because regardless of the negatives that I highlighted with his abilities, he is one of the most influential monarchs of the Zulu kingdom, probably one of the most influential monarchs in all of Africa. He was a great man, a great tactician. It just so happens that he had a very, very dark side that there was no way I could leave out of this. But still, he was also a great king. Sans the last year. I can't excuse that. But Shaka Zulu is a man, Shaka Zulu is a name that carries weight and importance. And that can never be understated. And yeah, this video definitely shows more of the darker side, but this character, the idea for him is to be a full duality of it, where his combat abilities showcase the brutality of his nature and the things he's done, while outside of battle is where you get to see the more just diplomatic king that he preferred being. And just the way how this video's formatted doesn't get shown that much, but know that is the kind of how I want to portray this character. He's not a raving lunatic, he's not foaming at the mouth, he's not a brutal savage, he is a well-spoken man who just so happens to be merciless. And that's fine. But what do you think of the Lancer Shaka Zulu? Leave a comment down below, I'm very interested to find out. Once again, I can't thank Common enough for providing the art, taking these commissions, they're just so wonderful, and I'm so excited every single time they're finished. Even just like seeing the progress, I'm so excited each and every time I receive an email from her and get to see the progress, because they all look so good. It's like my ideas coming to life and just gaining new sentience. It's great. So you should go support her using the links below, and also when the cards come out, purchasing them, because they do support her too. And I want to thank my friend Adam for providing the voice in the opening voice line. He doesn't have any links, but he does appear on these videos once in a blue moon, so when he pops around, give him some love. He did a great job. I'm very happy with how his voice came out. And if you want to see me and more of my other nonsense, you should like, comment, and subscribe, hit that bell icon to miss an upload from me, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. And if you want to support this channel even further, please consider supporting me on Patreon. All the links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time in the void!